following program is intended for mature audiences.
A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy. I'm Tank Spencer. Jeremy Greene's alongside Brian Haynes as well. And we are in the Wicked Weed studio, wickedweedbrewing.com. Wicked Weed Brewing. Drink different, rolling along with our off-season files. Team-by-team breakdowns. Yes, we will get to each and every team here. Subscribe to the channel. And, of course, share it out with your friends because their team will be covered as well. Off-season files roll on here with...
the Cincinnati Bengals.
The Bengals looking for a 5-win season for the first time in 3 years.
Yeah.
And I honestly don't know how they're going to be able to do it. I don't know how they're going to get to it. Look, Joe Burrow, you got the quarterback of the future. Mm-hmm. Still neglected to protect him. I don't care how much you continue to, Cincinnati Bengals fans want to say, oh, we've got plenty of offensive linemen. We don't need them. You don't have good offensive linemen. Mm-hmm. That's the problem.
Yeah, there's a Cincinnati.com put out an article yesterday that Jonah Williams is motivated to prove the Bengals right for standing pat. Cool. If he could play a game in the NFL, that'd probably go a great ways to proving them right.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for you to convince me that you would rather have Riley Rieff than Penei Sewell. Mm-hmm. Or any combination of wide receiver and Penei Sewell over Jamar Chase and Jackson Carman. Mm-hmm. It's just it would be hard fought for me to figure something out like that.
We've said everything about the offensive line. It is what it is. We're going to sit back and just watch us be right.
Yeah. Last year, according to PFF, Jonah Williams was the only member of the Cincinnati offensive line that recorded a pass blocking grade of 70 or higher.
Mm-hmm. Of which 70, by the way, not that great. No. That's fine. That's pretty much average, to be honest with you.
There were 10 different players who played at least 200 snaps because of injuries on this team.
Yeah.
You could have started, off right with a Penei Sewell pick in the first round of the draft, but you didn't. Chose to go with the offensive firepower with Jamar Chase. Now, is this team going to be able to put up points? I believe they will. And you still have Joe Mixon. You still have all of the wide receivers.
Depends on if Joe Burrow has 1.4 seconds to throw every time he drops back. Mm-hmm. If he gets to the top of a 5-step drop and there's somebody in his face, I don't give a fuck if he's throwing to Calvin Johnson, Jerry Rice, and Jesus. It doesn't really matter.
Jesus has been known to run a sweet route, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. He makes touchdowns every day. Jamar Chase
makes touchdowns.
Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins.
That's one of Jeremy's favorite sayings. He makes touchdowns. Oh God.
See, even when I'm not here, I do listen to the show.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. You can't really go wrong with those three.
The receiving core is good.
I think they're going to be able to
Joe Mixon. There are pieces of this team I like. Problem is, I still look at the defense and go,
Yeah, we were looking at the cornerback situation earlier.
Trey Wayne's
and Chidobe Awuzie, and I was like, they're living, breathing cornerbacks. But when your next option is Eli Apple, and as a Giants fan, I will tell you that is not good.
That's bad.
That's bad.
Real bad.
It's real bad.
And they're going to be in a lot of shootouts, and I'm fine. I like Joe Burrow probably more so than damn near anybody.
I like Joe Burrow.
One of the highest rated quarterbacks I've ever evaluated. Mm-hmm. The problem is, I don't think you're going to have a whole lot of time. And I think and you're going to be behind because the defense is not good, which means teams are going to know you're throwing, which means you're not going to be able to leave tight ends in the block to help the line. To me, this is the most predictable book in the world. But I've been called an idiot and all those other things in Cincinnati for long enough.
Yeah, they love you out there.
And that's fine. I go to sleep crying every night because Cincinnati doesn't like me.
Best offseason addition for the Cincinnati Bengals was Trey Hendrickson.
That was the one I had, yeah.
I think Trey Hendrickson was a bit overrated. But I will tell you that I do like the draft picks of Cam Sample and Joseph Asai. I thought they actually did pretty well on those, and I think those guys are going to be contributors to this defense. If we can say some bad things about the team, I'm going to try to say some good things as well. Mm-hmm. Those weren't too bad of picks. I'm looking at your linebacker core, and nothing really jumps off of the screen on me. Nothing as far as your secondary goes. It just looks like it's going to be a rough go at it for the defense this year. So again, and I think teams are just going to line up and just ready to go after Joe Mixon. They're in a division with 3 good defenses.
I would be remiss if I didn't point out Trey Hendrickson is a step back from Carl Lawson. I understand before any Bengals fan says this, because I've heard this on every Bengals video we've done all year. Well, they didn't give him as much guaranteed money. Okay.
Yeah.
Whoop-de-fucking-do. He's still not as good a player, and nobody will convince me that he is. Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody.
I mean, I think Trey Hendrickson is good.
He's fine. He's not as good as Carl Lawson.
Yeah.
Carl Lawson's pass rush win rate was better. On and on and on and on and on and on.
Oh yeah. I don't know so much about overrated, although it does not hurt. When you're on the other side from Cam Jordan.
Yes.
That is gonna.
I think he's
going to free
there
you
were
up.
a lot of cleanup sacks on pass rush wins by Cameron Jordan.
Right.
Yeah, he's going to see a lot more double teams on this Bengals defense than he ever saw.
And you had way more Marshawn Lattimore behind you than you have in Cincinnati.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, I look at Cincinnati and go, you've been doing this the same way for 30 years. It's worked out never.
Yeah.
I mean, what they have? What is it? They hadn't won a playoff game in 25 years?
Yeah.
I mean, they're kids with bachelor's degrees that have never seen a Cincinnati Bengals. My favorite stat is nobody has ever sent a text message about a Bengals playoff victory.
Yeah.
Because the first text message was sent a year after the last playoff.
Yeah.
So, I love the ones that just, you're so stupid. Okay.
Yeah, no.
That's fine. You just tell me where the wins are.
Yeah.
Because I've heard you're going to win at Pittsburgh, and after I changed my pants because I peed in them, I very quick, no, you're not.
Yeah.
No, the hell you're not.
I don't really have all that big of a problem with the actual defensive line of this team. It's everything on the backside of the defense that I just can't figure out.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Are you trying to lose games as much as possible? And maybe that is the goal. Maybe
it's not.
Let's just
at least not listening to their fan base.
Let's just keep picking in the top 5.
If you listen to their fan base, they're going to be going into a deep playoff run.
Well, I mean, that's because Zach Taylor actually, he had dinner with
Zach Taylor with Sean McVay.
Sean McVay. Yeah. God bless him. He had dinner with Sean McVay once, and they're the same person. Yeah. He touched him, and he left with an infinity stone, and now they're going to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
I want it to be true.
Me too. But I'm a fucking Jets fan. I look at every team like us and go, I want you to win.
Right.
But I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say that you're better than you are, because you're not.
No. For fantasy purposes, looking at this team, what's the one piece that you want?
Joe Mixon.
That's the one you want?
Ride or die.
He's driving that
I
train.
will die on that Joe Mixon.
Of course he did. You traded for him in the Dynasty League about 10 seconds before he blew up last year.
Yeah,
and
I did.
It's like, yeah, that's my guy now.
Yeah, I did.
Surprising
that was 2 years ago, by the way.
Surprising that
think
you have
Tyler
Jamar
Boyd.
Chase as your value fantasy player. Where is he being drafted right now? And yes, they are drafting teams, just so everybody knows that.
Which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
But
They are drafting it at this moment.
Jamar Chase is currently going. I looked at this last pick of the 11th round.
That's value.
All the way in.
That's value.
Now, granted, that's a little biased right now because he wasn't in so many drafts.
Right.
Dynasty dispersal drafts, which are what a lot of this is.
Yeah.
He'll go higher than that. I would say once it's all said and done, Jamar Chase probably ends up in the 7th round.
I did a mock draft earlier
round?
today, and I'm trying to look at where he went.
I still like Tyler Boyd. I still think he's a number one receiver on this team, and T.
He's
Higgins.
a slot guy.
And
The number one receiver on this team is Jamar Chase. Is not even debatable.
Well, and T. Higgins had a really good year last year, I thought.
And T. Higgins is a fine too. I have no issue with the weapon.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have a living, breathing tight end, but okay.
Drew Sample did things.
Stop it.
I will say some things coming out of camp is that Chris Evans is emerging as a backup running back to Joe Mixon. But when you hear things like this coming out of camp this early, it's typically
Well,
just
it was
trying
ultra predictable. If you remember, I told you how much I liked Chris Evans in the draft.
Yeah.
I gave them all the credit in the world for that pick,
Yeah.
and I think that's probably going to ultimately be the two.
Yeah.
Behind Joe Mixon.
Yeah.
He was misused at Michigan. Had he come out as a freshman or a sophomore, he would have been a day 2 pick. Then he was terrible his senior year, barely played.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that was a good pick. I have to say that. But my problem is that everything I like about this team is far away from the ball.
Yeah.
Running backs, wide receivers. I mean, I'm not as high on the D-line as he is. I'm fine. I mean, I like DJ Reader. He's a run stuffer. Larry Ogunjobi's fine. I always thought he graded out better because he had Myles Garrett next to him. But
yeah. That's what I'm saying.
But then I look at your linebackers and your corners and go, woof.
Yeah, that's gross.
I kind of just, I'm looking at this team and it kind of seems to me kind of like what we've seen out of the Dallas Cowboys the last couple of years, can score 30 points but are going to give up 35.
And you don't have a Zach Wilson or a Tyron Smith or anything like that.
Yeah.
You have none of those things.
Yeah, so I just look at this team where they're going to be able to score points, but I feel like it's going to be a lot of they're down 3 touchdowns and they get closer to that mark at the end of the game because they're going to be able to throw the ball. And defense, they're going to play a little bit softer because they're up so much already.
Right.
And it just, and I mean, I always go back when we talk about these Bengals things, that Joe Burrow knee injury, that big old scar showing on his knee when they talk about not drafting Penei Sewell. It just felt like that was the best route that you needed to take, and they just completely went off and said, you know what, heck with it. One thing I can say about that pick was they appeased their quarterback.
That's fine.
That's what they wanted. Joe wanted Jamar Chase, obviously from their time at LSU.
Yep.
And they went and did that. And, they said something about, even Thaddeus Moss being picked up off of the crap heap to give him more familiarity to.
The crap heap.
And that's fine. Here's my problem.
Yeah.
You have the worst set of linebackers in the NFL.
Yep.
You have one of the worst secondaries in the NFL.
Yep.
You're in a division with the Steelers, the Ravens, and the Browns.
Right.
That's 6 losses off the jump.
Right.
Straight up, before I even knew who you played when, no matter what. That's 6 losses right there.
Yep.
Then you realize you had to play the NFC North. That's 3 losses at worst. Or at best. Because you're going to lose to Minnesota, you're going to lose to the Bears, you're going to lose to the Packers. You have to go to Detroit.
Yep.
Which I don't like. So, best case scenario, you're 1-9.
That's going to be a toilet bowl.
Yeah. I look at it like Tommy's got them 6-11. Where the fuck do you find 6 wins on this run?
But then you also look at the rest of their schedule, and they have to play the Chargers. They have to play the 49ers.
Loss.
They have to play the Chiefs.
Loss.
Yeah.
And the schedule's brutal. The schedule's brutal. The team's brutal. It's going to be a brutal year. I feel like that's not a spicy hot take.
I had them winning 5 games, and I think it was because I have them beating Chicago, Jacksonville, Detroit.
You had them winning
Jets.
5 games because you didn't want them to say all the mean things that they were saying.
Oh, that's not true.
I had them at 2. I had them at 2.
I had them at 1, and I'll be honest with you, I had to manufacture the 1.
I mean, I think they're a better team than Jacksonville. They'll probably beat. And that's.
I don't think it's that far off.
It's a home game versus Jacksonville.
I don't think they're better than Jacksonville. There are more players on that Jacksonville team I can look at and go, okay. Now, granted, you're run by a fucking
lunatic,
crazy person that's a carnival barker for pro wrestling, and Urban Meyer's your head coach. So that's the game I had them winning.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't see wins.
Yeah.
Your next best chance is at the Jets or at the Lions. I don't think you're going on the road and winning with this team.
Yeah. I
don't believe in Zach Taylor. I never really have. I think he's a fine offensive coach. He's not a head coach. He's done nothing to show that he's a head coach. And, the Bengals, they really trust head coach. Okay. Secret time. Here's something that's going to hurt your feelings. Marvin Lewis made you more than you were. Period. Look at the other 20 years of the last 30 and realize that all of your best successes were with Marvin Lewis.
And you got a total of.
And I always felt like they didn't even.
There's a reason that Marvin Lewis is so well respected in the league circles.
Yeah.
There's a reason he keeps interviewing for jobs. It's because he's a smart damn guy. Just the way it is. And I look at this team and just everything else, from the way they run the draft to the way they go out and spend their dollars in free agency, it's just a mess. It's a mess.
It's a mess.
And they need to find somebody. I don't know who it would be, but they need to find the Lincoln Riley or the whoever the case may be that you'll just go, you do it.
Yeah.
But it's not Zach Taylor. They've given him no power whatsoever. There is no way somebody running this offense is looking at what they've done going, yep, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, we got 9 receivers and 1 injury-prone, really good lineman and a bunch of dudes.
Yeah.
No way.
Yep.
No, I don't buy it.
Yep. It's going to be a long, rough year for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, I mean,
it is what it is. 2 wins, 1 win, 3 wins. I think you're.
I just love the people that say, "I'll be back to laugh at you when you're 5-12."
Yeah, like
how hard are you going to laugh when you're 5-12?
No, 7-10. Remember, it was 710.
Well, God Almighty, we
Somebody's, "Oh,
won
we're gonna
4
be
games
7-10."
last year without Joe Burrow. We can win more with him.
I just would love to know, outside of, all right, let's say you win all of these road games at Denver, at the Jets, at Detroit, and Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
Who in God's name else do you think you're going to beat?
The Raiders.
In Vegas? Okay, all right, I'll give you that one. You're at 5.
Yeah.
You're
That's
at
what I'm
5,
saying.
and that is being as sweet as I can be.
I was as sweet as could
And I got
possibly
news
be.
for you. You ain't winning 2 of those.
That's what I was being as sweet as possibly can be at 5. I don't
4
think
of those 5 games are on the road.
Yeah, and I think 6 is a reach.
But 7 is laughable.
Yeah.
So anybody, before you comment, I'll be back to laugh at you for this one. Okay, we'll save you a seat.
7 is, that would mean also that like Ben's arm falls off in that second game versus Pittsburgh that they get to play.
Pittsburgh and Baltimore could literally decide they don't want to play in the NFL and join the USFL, and they still wouldn't have 7 wins.
And that's the thing again.
It is a thing again. And maybe we should set up an attrition thing like they do in soccer.
Oh, yeah.
Overseas.
Get relegated down to the USFL?
Relegated down, yeah.
Yeah, they'd be playing in the Sun Belt by now, so Cincinnati fans should be really glad they didn't do that.
Yeah.
Good thing that doesn't exist, although you do have pieces to build on for the future. Address that offensive line. Maybe we can talk this is a team that could win,
100% you
half
have
their
pieces,
games
but
in a couple of years.
You're a year away from being a year away.
Yeah.
And you're a head coach firing away from being a year away.
Mm-hmm. No doubt about it. I'm Tex Spencer. Brian Haynes is here. Jeremy Greene as well. We are in the Wicked Weed studio. WickedWeedBrewing.com. Drink different. Wish we could have given you a better rosy projection for the Cincinnati Bengals this year, but it is going to be a rough 2021. And everybody just cross your fingers and hope to God that passing up on Penei Sewell doesn't come back to bite you in the ass and Joe Burrow blows out a knee again.
I hope not.
I hope not, too. I love Joe Burrow.
We all like Joe Burrow.
I do, too. Want this team to be really good.
Yeah.
Problem is, they just are not. We appreciate everybody for joining us here in the off-season files in the Sportsocracy. Hit that subscribe button, like, share, and follow, and we will see you next time.